Too much chit chat. And then it got you all messed up, didn't it, Kelly? So stupid. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for If Loving You Is Wrong. This is season 5, episode 4. Kelly is just ridiculous. Everybody done been past, tell her, shush, 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 shush. Don't say that in here. Don't say it in here. You work at the bank. You know to shut up. But you just keep running your mouth. Anyway, I can't even tell y'all how mad I got at Alex. I wanted to wring her little blonde-headed neck. That whole thing with her jumping down and where am I at and this, that, and the other, yeah, okay. You raped me. You drugged me. I'm calling the police. That really took me back. That really took me back. Now, the conversation, see, I didn't have to have that conversation. My grandmother didn't have that conversation with me. But I remember hearing the conversation with my boy cousins. Y'all know what conversation I'm talking about. Let's sit in that for a minute. I didn't have to have the conversation personally, but my boy cousins and brother had that conversation with my grandmother. She would have that conversation. Don't get yourself in a position where this specific type of girl says or has you in a position to say, you raped me, you drugged me, and you know damn well you didn't. There's some things that you can do to avoid these things. But they just don't avoid those things, do they? So when she started this, I got pissed off because you were doing this because this was a specific type of man. You wouldn't have did it if you woke up with your cousin Addie, who is one who probably would do that to you. You wouldn't do it if you woke up next door with the crazy woman's husband. But you would do it with Ian. You would do it to Lucian. See, I'm leaving it alone. I'm leaving it alone. If the brick don't have nothing to do with you, don't let it hit you. But y'all know what I'm talking about. That bitch made me mad. I'm calling the police. And Ian's over there. No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. She's at your house. Okay? She's over your house. Been there all night. Anyway, moving on. So she gets up out of there. Once she sits down there and then she remembers everything. She remembers everything. He's sitting over there. Can't hardly catch his breath. Because he done seen his whole life flash in front of him. That's what happened when you let the little head run you and not the big head, honey. But he follows her out. He's like trying to take her home. And as this is going on, here come Randall. Randall sees her and he starts, what the hell is going on here? Randall is so ridiculous. He is. Oh, so what is this? So you the baby's daddy? I was like, wait a minute. And he was so mad. He was so mad. He really thinks that Alex belongs to him. I'm like, she is the next door neighbor's wife or ex-wife at this point. Are you kidding? Crazy as Dick's Hatband. He cussed her out, cussed him out, told him, he told somebody, he said, somebody's really going to kick your ass. Because he was trying to talk all nice and professional to Randall, but Randall just wouldn't let it go. And Randall said, shut up, you bald bitch. I said, oh, just ridiculous. So somebody's really going to kick your ass. So that was a whole mess. Then they finally get across the street after all this is going on in this little quaint, quiet little neighborhood. I said, y'all got it popping down here. And then Brad and comes sees her. She goes in the house. Brad and her get started. Brad's telling her, "Where you been? This, that, and the other." Her attitude was very much, "Child, leave me alone, honey. I'm here now. Where's the babysitter? Oh, you said, okay, good." And her attitude was so funky. And I'm sitting there, and when Marcy said, "Let me slap this bitch," said, "You can't slap her, but I can. Let me slap this bitch, child." And then did you see that how her personality just flipped? And she was like, "Guess what? You're mad." First, she was trying to get at Marcy, saying, "You're mad at me because you can't have no baby." She's going to give her all that smoke about, "I had the baby by your husband and you're mad." Child, we all passed that. We all passed that. We know it ain't her husband's baby. You just slut, and everybody know it. So that wasn't really working, but she was like, "Girl, you great play about my ovaries and all that. Let me," she said, "Girl, I'm great to tear her ass up, Brad." He's like, "No, Marcy." That bitch flipped that shit over and said, "Listen, you want a baby, don't you? Go ahead, take him." I said, "Oh, wait a minute. Take him. And you take the other two. Y'all take all of them. I'm done with all of it. Fuck off. I'm done. All of it. And both of you get out." I was like, she's crazy. And then she said, "Better yet, I'm out of here." And she rolled. She rolled. Rolled. They come outside. Randall and Marcy get to going at it. And Marcy just digging the knife and gonna say, "Yeah, see, she's the whore that I told you she was." He done got mad all over again. Talking about, "What are you talking about?" Said, "Yeah, we went in her internet. She was screwing around with all these men on the internet. You go check it out. She's the whore I told you she was." He gonna say, "You better be lying to me. She's not your woman. She is the ex-wife of the next door neighbor, man." Crazy as hell. This stuff, for all this was a long, drawn out Tyler Perry scene, but I was here for it. It was funny as hell to me. All of it. Well, once I got done, I was mad over at Ian's house. But once we got out on the Ian's lawn, over to across the street, all that was good stuff. That was all some good old hot mess. And I was like, "Girl, she's crazy." And they looking at her and don't understand. I'm like, y'all dealing with a whole schizophrenic. A whole schizophrenic. And y'all need to know it. Child, then we got Natalie. Natalie done sucked it all up. You know, she nebby as hell. She just sucked it all in. And she's sitting there, and then old boy is on the porch. She finally lets him in. They drew that out. She called Lucian and all that. Whatever. She let him on in. Ain't tell him about justice. You know, she's like, "I'll let you know when he gets out of school," or whatever. And told him, "Yeah, no, don't ask me no questions. You need to talk to Kelly about Travis." His whole thing, and just like a damn jailbird, honey. You'd have been in jail for how long? And you worried about whether or not they was dating. Does it matter? She killed him. He's dead. His ass is dead as shit. So it doesn't matter whether they were dating. It ain't even a conversation. Who gives a shit? I said, ugh, people. And that was the only real to life thing. Get out of jail with that bullshit. Get out of here. Go sit down. Anyway, well, you know what? Let me take that back. Let me take that back. Because he actually took the downfall, and him and her was in the shit together. So that's a little bit different. But just to say, shit, shut up. Go on about your business. What was you doing? What was you doing where you was at? Worry about that. Anyway, moving on. Child, then we go down to the jail. Lucian and Eddie, back and forth. He telling Lucian, of all people, "Let me out of here, Lou." You joking? He left his ass right up in that cell and gave him, "Oh, well, proof I got things to do, like go get some coffee." And Kelly over there running her mouth, "Shut up, Addie. Ha, ha, ha." She laughing at him and shit. I kept saying that, and I said, that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Why don't you just mind your business, Kelly? You know? Then there's this whole thing with Esperanza and Steven. He done pushed the paperwork to the bottom of the pile and all of that. Lucia done caught it, and Lucia told him what went on. He was drunk driving. You didn't really see him driving. And Esperanza wasn't going to sit there and lie. Lucia said, let him out. Let him out. And I get it. Lucia's like, I'm not going to lose my job playing around with you all. I'm going to get him and I'm going to pop him. But I'm going to pop him the right way and make it stick. Y'all playing games. That was a whole mess. So, that damn Alex ends up taking herself down there to Ian's job. Forced her way in. She drunk. She done drove down there. She drunk. She's still drunk. And I believe she probably done went somewhere and had some more drinks because she was all lit up. And she was in full on, into whatever character that she was into. Down there trying to entice him. He's like, this is not the place. This is not the time. She's forcing herself on him again. I'm like, you ought not never want to touch her again. Ever. For any reason. Other than to choke her. And said, can I call you later? She'll say, no, you can't call me later because by then I'll have found somebody to scratch this itch. I said, oh, this whore is too much. She's a whole mess. She left one out of there. I said, woo, and then drank some more. I said, she's a mess. She's a whole mess driving around town drunk trying to screw. A mess. Then we end up having this whole thing. Ian gets called over by Larry because the district attorney, Miss Linda, then came down there, baby, and she rolls up on them and got questions about Carl Adams, which is that public defender with Kelly's case, and said that he has some evidence that he knows is going to work to get her self-defense. And district attorney, she's going in there trying to do her in. And she's like, is there something I should know? Because I don't like surprises. Larry's telling her, no, there is none, this, that, and the other. And then he keeps saying, after they finally got her out of there, he's like, something is not right. Because Larry's good. He good. He knows shit. Something ain't. He knows something ain't right and it ain't. There are people that are turning on the church, little by little. But it's Rick that's really getting the ball moving. So he tells Ian, you need to get that public defender, get him down there so I can talk to him. He's like, he don't have to come talk to us. We're the opposing lawyer, like law firm. Are you kidding? He's like, get him in here. I want to talk to him. I said, okay, so this is getting good. I was like, come on, Tyler, come on through. You better come on through here with the storyline. Then it got stupid again. They get an officer comes to let Eddie out. And Eddie opens up Kelly's open up her cell to where she got contraband and she ain't allowed to have the Bible, and takes the Bible because she was down there having that conversation about what she had with Lucian. I said, see, I told you all that talking was going to get you. Now, Eddie got hold to all the evidence to get you out of jail. That part got on my nerves. That part got on my nerves because, and Lucian, when Lucian said he didn't want to take it, didn't want to take the evidence because he didn't want it to seem as though it went through his hands to keep the authenticity of it. Why didn't he just confiscate it as contraband? He could have just did it and said she had no business with it, and he could have confiscated it. But, And so now Eddie got it. That just pissed me off. I was like, that was lazy. That was lazy. But in essence, with the whole way things go, Kelly, that's what you get because you talk too damn much. I told y'all. When she hung herself, that should have been it for Kelly. She's getting on my nerves again. All right, y'all. I'm out.